Welcome to Talking It Out, the Jonathan Geffner podcast, where I talk with fellow ventriloquists, puppeteers, actors, writers, and musicians, as well as fascinating creative people of all sorts. My guest today is Chris Torem, a wonderful actor who I had the honor and pleasure to work with in both seasons of my Trillo Suede web series and in my new Trillo Suede short film, Casanoir. Welcome, Chris, to Talking It Out.
Yeah, I'm very excited myself. Love working with you and for you, and it was a great experience. I'm looking forward to this.
I was happy that you could be here on my very first episode of the new Talking It Out podcast, because we have some history working together. So I know that you're a wonderful actor, and it was a great experience to work with you. Let's show some clips to our viewers right now, some excerpts from the web series, Trillo Suede, and maybe one little clip from Casanoir.
Goose, where's the canary?
What canary? I don't know what you're... How'd you know my name?
We're ace detectives. Give us the canary now and we'll tell the fuzz to go easy on you.
I didn't take no... Which one of you... I ain't talking to no dummy.
So don't talk to my partner, talk to me.
Muggsy took it. Or maybe Bugsy.
They have alibis.
Muggsy was home listening to the Ravel String Quartet.
And Bugsy was on the toilet all morning.
After an evening of binging on gefilte fish.
It was Moose. He took it. It had to have been Moose. He's got a bird fetish. Am I off duty now?
Sure.
Hey, good job tonight.
Social distancing.
Hey, put down that phone, Captain Stress.
This is Captain Stress. Give me the control tower.
I said put it down.
Welcome to the Airport Automated Assistance Center.
Control tower, quick!
For flight information, press 1.
Hello.
For arrivals, press 2.
Hello!
For departures, press 3.
I want the control tower, damn it!
For the baggage department, press 4.
What have you been doing recently, Chris?
So I'm preparing for a short film, probably a pilot, because that's what everybody wants to do now, is a pilot and pitch it to somebody for a series, called Empath. I'm the serial killer. Somebody will be wronged by an individual. They will hire me to kill them, and when I choke them, I will know if they felt sorry. I can read their mind, and I can feel all their emotions.
Oh, so that's just starting. It didn't start yet.
That didn't start yet. No.
Okay. You have a clip I know for us. You want to set that up? What that is? I think I'm going to show a clip from some other recent film that you appeared in.
Yeah. Okay. I forgot which one I said.
You're right. Let it be a surprise. So it'll be a surprise for both of us.
Yes.
So here we go. A little taste of some of the range of Chris. Something else that he's been doing recently, other than Trillo and Suede stuff. Here we go.
Just walk away.
You double-crossing bastard. I stood up for you.
Yeah, go ahead, Chris. Yeah, explain that for us.
That was in the trailer of Bringing Back Dead. And I have to say, that's probably the biggest thing I've ever done. It stars Daniel Baldwin, and I fight Gary Daniels. He's flipping me. And Gary Daniels, if you know the martial arts acting scene, Sylvester Stallone picked him to be one of the martial arts actors in the Expendables. I'm hired by Louis Mandylor, who has done a bunch of different things, and maybe not a household name, but you would know him in Uncle, Big Fat Greek Wedding. Anyways, and so that clip was in the trailer, so I felt that was a good one to show, because they really don't want me to show the full fight scene and make that public. They want people to go and rent the movie.
Right.
But it was
a great... Where can people see that? Is it released yet?
It's released. It's on DVD. I actually was in Border Books and I looked at the DVD and I'm on the front in a mask, and then I flip it over and I'm on the back cover doing fights with losing my fights with Gary Daniels. I get a couple of good shots in, but he's the star and I'm the bad guy.
Yeah,
So,
well, the star has to get in the good licks.
absolutely.
Yeah, but so at least people can look for it. And what's the name of it again? So people can.
It's called Bring 'Em Back Dead. It's on all the platforms. It's also on Tubi for free. And the director and the writer said, please, if you watch it, write some sort of comment or review. That it can be, and it was also on YouTube. So
On YouTube too. It's
Yep.
just the excerpts or the whole film?
no, the whole movie.
Oh,
Yep.
great! So everybody go check out and enjoy it. Chris in
Yeah.
an action movie. So you're do you feel that you get typecast for the roles because you look like a tough guy, you are a tough guy, and you play those roles very easily. You fit into those roles and you play them great. But do you ever feel like you're sort of getting typecast, or do you try to audition for other roles and trying to break out into a different kind of character?
So I think that I kind of typecast myself because I know what I can do and what I cannot do. I've been so impressed with all the immensely talented people out there. I mean, when I go on set, your three, there were no weak links. They were all unbelievable in their own way. So I really feel in life, we need to stay in our lane. And I like branching out, but it's branching out in a subdivision of yourself or your personality, I believe. So, I look at my requests, and if I look at words like upscale, good looking, there's another word that I automatically delete. But if I say, intimidating looking, muscular, athletic, those are the ones that I apply for. Typically, those are, the antagonists.
Right.
But I enjoy it.
Well suited for that. So you don't audition for the roles for computer nerd or something like that. But
No.
Although that might be interesting to cast someone against type, a computer nerd who looks very tough, and vice versa. Those things are fun when people go against stereotypes sometimes.
If there's one descriptor that fits me, then I'll do it. But if all the descriptors, I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, that's not me, then I shy away from those.
Yeah. So what brought you into the world of acting? How long have you been doing it?
Yeah, so I have been doing it very, seriously, whatnot, only in the last 5 to 7 years, and 2 of those were COVID. I was into it long ago. I was the Norse god in a off Broadway play, Thor. I played a biker in a bar in Enter the Sun. That's a short film, and then I really kind of dedicated my life to 2 things. One, working with children and working with kids as a psychologist, working with families, but more importantly, raising my disabled son. Mom was absent, although certainly saw him. And I did everything, and I put everything on hold. And in 2015, I have a very severe case of Crohn's. We've talked about this. Yes. And so I had lost about 70 pounds. So if you could picture me with 70 pounds less, you could see it would just be a skeleton. And, I was given a 50-50 shot to live. And I'm in the ICU looking up at Law and Order. And I have tubes out of me and whatnot. And I was not, it was about 50-50 shot that I would live. And I said, if I can't get back to doing this and lifting, I have to substitute something in my life. And I've always enjoyed acting. I've played semi-pro football. I did WWF or E back in the day. I was a scrub, no name, just got beat up when I was a young kid, and I could handle it. Yeah. And I've presented with my crisis intervention work all over the United States and Canada. So I've always been somewhat of a in front of the audience type of person in various aspects of my life. But that's when I decided, and I said, if I can only do one, that would be so great. And it really took off, again, typecasted, but took off. And I think yours was the biggest that I did up until that point, and I really feel the Trillo Suede one really helped me a lot with my reel. I mean, there were lines in it and things like that. And I certainly see that as a turning point in my career. You taking a chance on me because you took a chance on an unknown, and I appreciate that.
Well, I didn't feel it was taking a chance at the time. No risk involved because you just nailed it in the audition. I remember that very hectic audition. It was very poorly organized. My web series, a lot of things about it. I was a novice in producing something on that scale, and so it was very hectic, overbooked for the studio we had, and like crazy chaos. However, we got you in somehow, and I know you had a hard time getting to the studio in Manhattan with traffic and all kinds of stuff that day. Somehow you got there. We had the audition. As soon as you started doing the role, I knew that's our guy. So I said to the director, "He's the one." So
that's so good. That's so good to hear.
Yeah. So and it worked out great. You're fun to work with. Also, that's also a blessing when an actor is also very easy to work with on a personal level too. So,
that's good to hear.
Being a psychologist, when did you first become interested in that? Apparently, long before you decided to be an actor.
Yeah. So I always liked animals, and I liked fishing in the ocean. And I went down to URI, University of Rhode Island, and I took the introductory course to zoology, Zo 111, and I failed it. And I said, maybe I better rethink this career. That took me in the direction of a physical education major with a minor in chemistry, and that's a whole other story. And then I worked at Judge Rotenberg Center. It's a place for severely autistic children. They come from all over the United States because of the danger level and the intensity. And I worked my way up through their infrastructure to be the director of behavioral programming. But I'm up on in court in front of the judge, and he was like, well, what do you got a phys ed degree for? And you're directing behavioral programming. And I said, yeah, that's a really good point. I do it under the direction of Dr. Israel, but and so that led me back to college to go into psychology. In the meantime, I've already been playing semi-pro football. I've already been presenting, all over the United States. I mean, I published a few things on crisis intervention and one on working with autistic kids, smoothing transitions with reinforcement. So, in front of people and kind of a performance, not exactly. So interestingly, though, I don't get that part. I don't ever get the psychologist part. I get the biker, the villain, the murderer, the crazy person. So, yeah, that's kind of the course it took.
How long have you been a psychologist?
Oh, since the 90s. So, yeah.
A long time already.
Yes. I've got a lot of years in, and people talk about retiring, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to until I have to make a choice. If they come with that big movie, then that's fine. Then I'll choose. But I really love working with children and families, and I love doing that as I love acting.
So the inspiration for your focus in psychology being children and families, I assume comes from your experience raising you as a single dad, basically, right? Sounds like
basically, yes.
Yeah, mostly as a single dad raising an autistic child, I think you said.
Yes.
Yep. So I'm sure that
it's the other way around.
Yeah. What's
it was the other way around. I went into the field to help people, and then we had my son Emerson.
Oh, that's right, because it was
yeah.
Did that first, right? So then Emerson came along after you had already gotten interested,
right.
already started pursuing the
right.
field. Do you work in particular with children who have various kinds of problems or challenges? Does that interest you particularly? I mean, I guess everybody has some kind of problem, right?
Sure.
But I mean, a particular developmental challenge or something like that. Does that interest you in particular?
I take the most difficult cases. First, I'm not afraid of the student or young adult or whatnot being violent, because I've taken martial arts training in defense, and not that you give them karate chops, you do not, that's illegal. However, if somebody comes at me, I know how to move and safely immobilize things. And so I used to get the more difficult cases. I used to do inpatient evals at the psychiatric hospital as well. That's a locked facility, and they usually offer to have a staff member right there and whatnot. And I'm like, no, I got it, but thank you. I know 100% monitoring. And I get a challenge at tackling the more difficult cases. So learning problems are very important. I have one. I have dyslexia myself, and sometimes I'll reverse a line or two, but I usually I don't do it during our shooting, but I'll do it during rehearsal. But I think in the behavioral area with the psychiatric illnesses, and I have a good comfort level going to homes, without fearing for my safety. Maybe I should more, but I don't. I'm there to help. My opening line is, I walk in, okay, and I go, hey, how you doing? So I'm not the police. I'm not a vice cop. I'm from the school department, and I'm just here to help, because that's intrusive, somebody coming to your door.
That sounds like it's a very gratifying kind of work that you're doing.
It is.
Is acting in any way the impetus for getting involved in it partially as an escape from the stress of your work? Do you find it very stressful, although gratifying, or is that not really a component of that?
No, you hit the nail on the head. That's exactly it. And first of all, my West Warwick School Department is amazing. Karen Tarasevich, the superintendent, is just unbelievable. She is great, and that goes right down the line to the principals, and everybody really tries to work together, the union and the administration and the school committee, and we really try to work together for what's best for kids. And so I can't say enough about that, but I do say if I have to take a day off, hey, I'm taking a mental health day, and it is good for my mental health, the acting. I limit what I do only because of my job, and I'll have to make a decision. The big movie that I did, The Bring 'Em Back Dead, I was a month in New York, but it was the month of July. So it actually worked out really, really well. But I researched it, and in our contract, it says it's at the discretion of the superintendent and unpaid leave. So I got a little bit of leeway there too, and I got some personal days, and I often will make up a lot more than I miss in general. I don't see it as a punching the clock type of thing.
So you find it's therapeutic acting, right?
Yes.
Do you have any thoughts about what motivates most people? What is most likely to motivate someone to go into acting? I mean, one thing is I suppose people seeking even subconsciously some kind of therapy or self-therapy. I'm sure that's also one factor. But do you have any other thoughts about what is likely to motivate people to have this urge, this drive to act? Where do you think that comes from for most people?
Well, so if we get to basic rudimentary functional behavior, and motivation is that, why do people do what they do? Okay, it's usually to obtain something or to get away from something, to get away from the stress of work and to do something creative and obtain, a portion of this and work with other people and see a byproduct and whatnot. So I think that a lot of people will go into acting because it's filling some sort of need of theirs. And let's face it, we enjoy doing things that we are good at. So, I mean, I played semi-pro football, but I'm 5'10" and I'm 200 pounds. I wasn't going pro, but I sure as hell wasn't going to play basketball, So I think that people that, have an outgoing personality, or they have, a good creative expression, I think that is probably motivating to people. It certainly is to me. And then, as you said, it's a nice stress reliever from when you're having to deal with intense sexual abuse cases, and it gets very ugly. I see a very ugly side of humanity often.
Yeah, I've found from the acting that I've done that I always feel like I learned something about myself just from experiencing that, from getting myself into the mindset of the character. It's sometimes it's hard to find the words, even right now, or what it is. But I feel like there's always something learned from the experience that I can relate. I don't always incorporate as much as I'd like to in my self-awareness, but it has some effect there. I think even subconsciously. I also can identify with you, as we talked between ourselves at some time in the past, also, that I was mostly primarily single dad as well. So we have that experience. So I know what that's like, the difficulty, the challenge, the stress, but also I can empathize with your priority of prioritizing taking care of your son, being there for him, as I prioritize being there for my daughters, as my main priority. So what other dreams have you had? Like, if you were not a psychologist / actor, what do you think you might have done? Like, do you have any different dreams when you were a child or adolescent?
Well, I told you about the oceanography stuff. But I don't know if looking back on it now, if that really would have satisfied me. I did a lot of different things in my life. I really enjoyed the wrestling and the semi-pro football. But I wasn't going professional at my size. I could have delved more into the wrestling, but I didn't. I didn't choose that. I like presenting in front of people. I like being on stage, that type of thing. I think it's challenging and it's also nerve-wracking, and it's very gratifying when you finish it. You've climbed this mountain and you've gone over it, and not everybody can do it. And so those are great. But I don't really think there's much else other that's realistic. Sure, I would have loved to play pro football, and I was asked to go to NFL Europe, but being the height I am, that was never going to happen, and I didn't want to do the wrestling, forever. It was a nice hobby, but I'm small, and that wasn't, a very realistic goal. But the psychology and the acting are really incorporate a lot of things that I really do love. And I mean, I like giving people enjoyment, we do focus a lot on entertainment in our society, and people do like that, and people are watching sitcoms and listening to different shows, not like this as much, but like Trillo Suede, because they it gets them through something. How many people run home and go, okay, tonight is Casanoir night, I can't wait to watch it. I loved Casablanca when it came out, and now I want to do this. And it does give people pleasure and helps them be productive.
Do you have a dream role or a dream type of role that, if your wish could come true, magic wand, that you'd like to play? Or
well,
you're just happy, or just happy doing more of what you're doing right now, or is there something, like in a perfect world?
Yeah, I always wanted to do Thor, and I feel slighted just because Chris Hemsworth is better shape, younger, a better actor, taller, and better looking. They could have taken a shot on me.
Yeah, that stuff's not important.
that was actually when I did that Thor in the modern day psychotherapy session on stage. I really loved that role, and then I really liked the the biker role, because I know about that subculture and whatnot. But there's a role out now I'm involved with, and it's on IMDb, so I can say it. It's called Punk Rock 101. And Punk Rock 101 is a combination of Shameless with the dysfunctional family, and that 70s show, because it's more set in the punk rock era. and I'm the father of these unruly kids, and it looks like it might really get picked up, and I have a lot of hopes for that, because I get to be as crazy as I want and do a lot of freelancing. And like, for instance, he says, okay, you come into the bar and you are, a bunch of hooligans, and I want you to act like you're drunk and on drugs and you're crazy. And I go, okay, can I be too crazy? He goes, no. So I go in and I do a few things, and I probably shouldn't say them. So I'm gonna, I thought that I was pushing the envelope, and nothing illegal or anything that would make it X-rated, or but and they really loved it. So I'm really looking forward to that one possibly flying.
Punk Rock 101.
Punk Rock 101.
And where could people see it? Or
it's not out yet. We shot the pilot. And then they have requested for a couple of companies that can't be named, but they've requested a non-disclosure agreement so we could do a table read as we present to them. There were people there from, household name channels that were observing when I was there. I recognized them. So, I got a lot of hope in that. I think that would be a really great role.
It sounds perfect, right up your alley, and hopefully it will be a kind of breakthrough role for you. So what's the best way that people can follow your career and get news updates? Is there a social media platform that you are on that, like, what would be the primary one?
Yeah, so I use my Instagram account as a kind of like a portfolio. And I've gotten a bunch of jobs from that, so it's a Torem of the Future, not Chris Torem. Torem of the Future is my old Dungeons and Dragons name. And
Torem of the Future, that's your Instagram handle, right?
Yes.
Torem of the Future.
And then I do it on Facebook, and I also have my own website, christorem.com.
christorem.com. That's an easy one to remember. So
that's
jot it
easy.
down, everybody. christorem.com. I'll also post the links to these social media, your social media, under the video here, so people can click on it and enjoy, follow all your social media, and see what exciting stuff comes up next for you. Hopefully another Trillo and Suede thing. I'm trying to find a way to produce some further things with that as well. I'd love to work with you again.
This feeling is mutual, and I really get a lot of compliments still on that that show, and I think the one that I get the most compliments on is the episode called The Princess. So that's something for people to see if they haven't seen it. It was great.
Everybody check out the whole web series. The 2 seasons that we've shot are available on the Trillo and Suede YouTube channel. I'll have the links to my stuff as well down there under the video, so enjoy that, as well as Casanoir, which also features Chris. That's all on the YouTube channel right here, because this podcast is on the YouTube channel as well. So everyone out there, if you enjoyed this podcast episode, give us a like, share with your friends, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell so you won't miss out on upcoming episodes. And also, as I say, you can enjoy the Trillo and Suede web series and Casanoir, all right here on the YouTube channel. So, Chris, thanks a lot for joining me here today. And remember, all of you out there, anything worthwhile in life is worth talking it out. Till next time.
Thank you. I was honored to be the first one.